Thank you for joining us on this first day of the week, and we'll get into our first story for the day. Families in Nairobi's Mathare slum have staged protests demanding to know the whereabouts of their kin who were allegedly abducted 2 weeks ago. Addressing the media, a handful of protesters have given the government 24 hours ultimatum to produce Michael Olo, who was allegedly abducted in Umoja Estate, failure to which they say they will march to the office of the Interior CS to seek answers. Bentura Kwamboka, our reporter, is live in Buruburu at the scene with comments about that. Bentura, good afternoon.
Well, a very good afternoon to you, Ndu. We are coming to you live from the Buruburu police station, where the family of Mike Olo, who was abducted about 2 weeks ago, has been called by the DCI. We are just presuming it's to get the details of the whereabouts of their king. Earlier, we had a handful of demonstrators in Mathare area 4A that were protesting, demanding the government to produce their king and two others. We have someone they call Max, who was abducted, that is around Githurai, also 2 weeks ago. And we have Zizo, who was also abducted 2 weeks ago around Ujuje Farm. These are families that are saying their kins have not yet been produced at any court of law. They have tried to search across police stations for their kin, but to no avail. They have not yet been able to find their kin. Michael Law was abducted, allegedly he was abducted by people who identify themselves as police officers in Umoja. He was going to the barber shop just a few meters from where he resides. We spoke to the wife earlier, who told us that the last communication, that's the mobile communication, it had shown that the last communication was made along the Kangundo Road, but from there they've not been able to hear the whereabouts of his husband. And shortly after the protest that saw a handful of locals there, they're called by the DCI here at Buruburu, probably to get the details of how far is the protest. Remember, she had told us that the investigative body had tried to tell them that to go and look for CCTV around that area, that they're saying he was allegedly abducted and bundled into Subaru that did not have any number plates. But that's just a few. Remember, this one is coming just under 24 hours after the human rights groups and activists yesterday had demanded the release of Davis Lichuma, who was allegedly abducted during the Gen Z protest. And we've seen that the Lichuma was found earlier today at the Kenyatta National Hospital, receiving treatment from what seems like he was being tortured. That's just a few people, just a few number of people who've been abducted. Remember, they have also given an ultimatum here. They've said in 24 hours, if the government does not produce Zizo, it doesn't produce Max and also Mike Olo, they're going to take to the streets, to the office of the Interior, that is Kipchumba Murkomen, to demand for answers, because their efforts have proved futile. So that's what we are following up here at the Buruburu police station, just to see if we'll get more details about the whereabouts of these people who have missed probably 2 to 3 weeks ago. And definitely we'll be giving you details on that as we get that brief from the family, who we are anticipating that maybe they might be coming from the DCI offices anytime from now.
Thank you. Bentura Kwamboka is at the Buruburu police station with that update, and we'll continue to follow up on details with that.